Still in the Chambal Badlands, and we're just going to conclude this series of videos with a little demonstration of the structural instability, really, of the soils here. So we've talked about how the gullies seem to be a combination of the fact that the Chambal River incised in the early to mid Holocene drove gullies headwards, and their rate of expansion presumably was quite quick, because the soils are, for one thing, relatively fine grained, but they also don't have a lot of structural stability. So I'm going to demonstrate that. It's a very simple way of demonstrating the stability of soil PEDs. The full test is known as the Emerson soil aggregate test, and this is just going to be a very quick and crude demonstration. So there's a soil PED that I've just picked off the face there. I'm going to drop it in here. Okay, and you can hear in the bottom of the bottle it's still got some stability. I'm just going to put a little bit of water onto it, let it settle for a second, and then give it a little bit of agitation. Even without agitating it, if Manu gets the camera in, you can see instantly how much the water is now discoloured, and you can even see actually just how that PED is just falling to pieces. There is really no stability at all. So you can imagine what happens. In fact, it's even, if I just give it a little swirl, you'll just see that there's basically nothing left. Okay, that's really fallen to pieces. You can imagine what happens with heavy rainfall, runoff, and worse still, ponding behind check dams. So let me pour that out, and that's what's left of your soil aggregate, nothing, essentially. Just to demonstrate that's not a fluke, there's another piece of soil. I've taken this from the slightly tougher, more clay-rich part of the section. So this should, in theory, be a little bit more stable still. You can hear it's still got some cohesion when it's dry. Let me just pour some water onto it. I would expect this one to retain a little more stability than the sandier head that we just had, but instantly you can see again the water's very discoloured. I'm swirling the water around, and yes, the PED is remaining a little bit more firm. It's just in the corner there. But equally, you can imagine with prolonged saturation and runoff, again, there's not going to be much left. I'll pour it out, and yeah, essentially that's all gone as well. So a combination of factors has come together here: the incision of the Chambal River, the natural lack of structural stability of the soil. The Badlands are natural features. Humans are trying to use them as best they can. In some cases, they're making the problem of gullying worse by ponding water up. Yeah, so it's kind of a battle, I guess, between human activities and nature. But that's the Chambal Badlands.